Om Tava Kathamritam Tapta Jeevanam Kavibiriditam Kalmashapaham Shravanamangalam Srimadda. Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, from where we left last time. The play on Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which was enacted, of course, Girish Chandra Ghosh was not acting in this, but he was the playwright who wrote this drama on Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Sri Ramakrishna has been invited, or rather Sri Ramakrishna had expressed his desire that he should attend this play. He would like to attend this play, and he's sitting in a box with M. Master Mahashay and others, some other devotees, and they are all watching this drama. Now the drama is going on, and the sub-heading which M has given is that worldly people want to hold on to both the world and God. And the incident that is being acted out is between Gangadas and Srivas. So this is Srivas and Gangadas were colleagues of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Srivas and others are the other boys are in conversation in front of Advaita's home. Advaita, as you all know, is a companion of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Mukunda, who is one of them, sings in a very sweet voice. This is the song. The song is in Bengali, but the translation as it is given in the gospel reads like this. Mukunda is singing in his beautiful voice, "Oh my mind, don't go to sleep. You have remained oblivious, intoxicated with Maya for so long." I mean, Mukunda is telling his own mind. This is how these wonderful ideas are expressed in these songs. They use the medium of songs for two reasons. The songs are easy to remember, and they are accompanied with music, with background music, and the singers are also accomplished singers who are actors as well. So one had to have a lot of talent to act in Girish Chandra Ghosh's dramas, because it was not just a play, it was a musical play, you can say. And one had to be good singers. Of course, the background instruments were played in the background behind the screen, but all the same you had to sing and act at the same time, sing and act at the same time. So they had to remember these songs, so it was not so easy to perform live in front of the audience. The Star Theatre, which he had established, was meant for exceptionally talented people. And many of the people who acted in these dramas, plays, divine plays, they came from a lower strata of society. As I told you, normally people from the so-called elite class of Calcutta, they would not send their children, or they themselves would not act in these plays, because it was not so popular in those days. It was popular, but it was considered to be a profession which was looked down upon. But Girish Chandra Ghosh, by virtue of his wonderful religious dramas, which Sri Ramakrishna told him not to stop, because he thought, once I start following my spiritual practices, perhaps Sri Ramakrishna would like me to stop all these activities. But on the contrary, Sri Ramakrishna encouraged him. Not only encouraged him, but went to these dramas. And the actors were naturally, the actors and the actresses, many times the role of Chaitanya and the male role would be played by women because of shortage of actors. But they were very good at it, whatever role they played. It was the ideas, it was the philosophy behind the play that was more important. So you'll find in this, Mukunda the role, whoever was playing the role of Mukunda. Mukunda is a character in Chaitanya Charitamrita. So Advaita, they are all colleagues of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They were all friends, very good friends. Srivasa is also there. So one of the friends is singing a song which is highly philosophical, that, "Oh my mind, you don't go to sleep anymore. You have remained oblivious because you have been intoxicated with Maya, that you have forgotten your true nature. Who are you? What have you forgotten?" The second line explains that. Who are you? Why have you come? You have forgotten yourself. You are in search of your own self. That is the main goal of life. To understand who one is, what is the real purpose of our existence, what are we supposed to do here. And forgetting that, we have been engulfed by Maya, and you were, as it were, in an intoxicated state, which is as good as sleep. So you wake up. Oh my mind, don't go to sleep. Come out of this bad dream. So this world and all the actions done under the influence of Maya is being considered as a bad dream. Don't take it seriously. It's just a bad dream. Open your eyes and see. You are living with transitory things. Look for the eternal within yourself. So you have to understand that through these songs, though they appear to be very simple songs sung in uh, ordinary Bengali, they are not very difficult to understand. Most of them were sung in a Bengali which normal people would understand. And people love to hear these songs, not just the dialogues, because one may forget the dialogues, but these songs would become so popular, and the ideas conveyed by these songs also left an indelible impression on the mind. So come out of the darkness and see the bright light of the sun. That is the last. And now M writes, Mukunda has a very sweet voice. Sri Ramakrishna now and then is praising his voice and the way he is acting, the way he is singing to Mani. Mani is, as I told you, M. He used to change his name often. He did not want to highlight his own presence. He said that is immaterial, who is recording. That's why he kept changing his own name, so that he doesn't become prominent. Otherwise, people will think that everywhere M, and if he mentions his own name. So now and then, just he used to use 4 or 5 names. So he is writing Mani. So people may get an idea. It's an impersonal observation, or impersonally he has recorded it. His role is just to reproduce what Thakur said. So somebody, maybe his name is Mani or he himself is Mani, that is not important. So Ramakrishna has been praising this singing of this Mukunda, and Nimai is at home. Srivas, one of his friends, has come to see him. First he meets Sachi. Sachi is the mother of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. She is weeping and is saying to these friends, "My son doesn't show interest in domestic duties." As it usually happens, most of the parents are concerned about their children not taking interest in their career or in the domestic duties which they expect him to do. But here they don't understand that the cause of neglecting the duties is because Chaitanya has been born, Mahaprabhu has been born for a higher purpose. Now, her elder son or her eldest son, Vishwarup, also became a monk. She says, "I constantly tremble with fear ever since Vishwarupa, her eldest son, left, lest Nimai should also embrace sannyas." So she is afraid for 2 reasons. One is neglecting worldly duties. Second is that just like my eldest son, whom I could not stop, he embraced sannyasa and left. That Vishwarupa has left. And she is afraid now. She is telling his friend that I am afraid of Nimai, that he will also embrace sannyas. Now Nimai has come. Sachi says to Srivas, "Alas, look at him. What crazy looks he has. Tears from his eyes have drenched his chest. These are the characteristics of a divine person. But Chaitanya's mother is Nimai. He was known as Nimai in his childhood. She is not able to understand the significance. Tell me, please tell me, how can I free him of this mood? So Nimai weeps, holding Srivasa's feet and says, O Lord, where do I have bhakti for Krishna? My wretched life is now of no avail. So he is considered him, Srivasa, as his own guru, and he is pleading with him. Nimai is pleading with him because he is so desperate. Somehow he wants that he should have some kind of bhakti, and he is really feeling from within his own heart that my life is of no avail. It is wretched. Tell me, O Lord, where is Krishna? How can I attain Krishna? Kindly give me the dust of your feet so that I may be able to attain Banmali. Banmali is the name of Krishna. So Srivasa is expecting him to guide him in the spiritual path. Sri Ramakrishna continues to look at him and wants to talk, but cannot. Sri Ramakrishna is now too much involved in this whole drama. He is really feeling as if Nimai himself is approaching this preceptor, an elderly person. Srivasa, though he considers himself as a guru, some sort of guru. So he continues. Sri Ramakrishna is so moved by this appeal or this song in which he is appealing to Srivasa so that he can have bhakti for Krishna. And he says, my life is of no avail without this bhakti. Where can I attain Krishna? Where can I, please give me the dust of your feet so that I can attain Banmali by that meritorious act. So Sri Ramakrishna wants to say something, but he is so much identified with this drama that he is not able to talk. He wants to talk, tell something to M. His throat is choked with emotion and his cheeks also, looking at this acting. It's not the real Nimai, but still he feels so moved by this enacting of this wonderful drama that Nimai is holding the feet of Srivas. Nimai is saying, Oh Lord, how do I have love for Krishna? So that is uppermost in his mind. Nimai is not able to give lessons to his students. Ganga Das was his teacher. Ganga Das has come to instruct Nimai. He says to Srivas, Revered Srivas, we are Brahmins too. We too worship Vishnu. You people have ruined the household life of Nimai. Now Ganga Das, they are all scholars, teachers. Like Srivas, they are elderly people. And they are companions at the same time because they were senior companions. They used to come, all these people, Gangadas, Advaita, and so many characters are there, who were spiritually, obviously, they were not more mature than Nimai. Obviously, he was an incarnation. But at least, as far as wisdom is concerned, he says, we have come here to instruct Nimai. He's just a student. And Gangadas was his teacher. Maybe he was teaching the scriptures. We have come there. We are also Brahmins. So he is proud that he is a Brahmin and we too worship Vishnu. But he doesn't realize that worshipping Vishnu is one thing and having devotion to Vishnu or Krishna, that is the essence of life. So Sri Ramakrishna now has come down a little bit. He was full of emotion. He tells M, it's a householder's instruction. Do this and also do that. I mean, study, do everything and also worship God. When a householder teaches, he wants you to hold on to both the world and the God. He says, why not you hold on to both? M says, true sir. Gangadas further instructs Nimai. I say, Nimai, you are well versed in scriptures. He is a teacher, Gangadas, so he expects his student to be well versed in scriptures. Discuss it with me. Then what is more important than the householder's dharma, is trying to explain based on his understanding of the scripture. Please explain it to me. You are a householder, so why do you conduct yourself otherwise? You are a householder. I mean, you are still living in the household. Nimai has not taken sannyas. He is still living with his mother Sachi and there. So Sri Ramakrishna says to him, see, he's saying this to uphold both sides, worldly and spiritual. M is just saying yes, sir, because he himself is doing that. Nimai says, now the dialogue is going on. Nimai says, I am not willingly unmindful of household life. On the contrary, Nimai is also agreeing. I wish for both sides to be taken care of. I mean, he is not that he is not interested. He is interested in learning the scriptures. In those days, learning the scriptures means, as Brahmins, they would earn some money based on their knowledge of scriptures, with which they could do rituals, do different types of ritualistic practices. So he's saying, in fact, I wish for both. That is why he went to school. That is why he became a scholar. He, in fact, wrote books on logic, Nyaya. That is what he was studying. Navadvip was famous for Nyaya. So he says, Lord, I don't know, but I don't know why all this is happening to me. Alas, what I am doing is through the attraction of my heart. My mind is definitely there. I want both. I want to learn. I want to study the scriptures, as you said. I want both, God as well as the world. I wish, he says, I wish I could live in my family, but somehow I cannot. My soul is flying out, and there is no way to bring it back. Is it ever longing? It is ever longing to jump into the deep sea. Deep sea here is in a figurative way, not that he wants to drown himself. Deep sea of spirituality, that is what. He wants to dive deep into the deep sea. Means you want to dive deep in the spiritual sea, the ideas of spirituality. In spirituality itself, he wants to dive deep. Sri Ramakrishna is totally moved by these dialogues. So now the next heading, it's going on, the drama is going on. A descendant of Nityananda's family in the theatre and Sri Ramakrishna's inspiration, that's the heading. M. Baburam and Goswami from Khadda, they are all of the lineage of Nityananda. Now Nityananda's descendants, they used to live, many of them migrated to Kolkata, all were not living in Navadvip. But somehow they could trace their ancestry to Nityananda. Nityananda has arrived at Navadvip. Now they have come. The Goswami from Khadda, who is a descendant of Nityananda Goswami, they have come. They have arrived at Navadvip. He has been looking for Nimai, and Nimai is looking for him. At that very moment, he meets Nimai. Nityananda and Nimai were like companions. When they meet, Nimai says, my life is blessed. My dream has come true. You had hidden yourself after appearing in a dream. I mean, Nityananda had appeared perhaps in a dream, and now he has really come. So Sri Ramakrishna, to him in a voice choked with emotion, Nimai says, I saw you in a dream. Srivasa is seeing the six-armed divine form and he sings his praises. Sri Ramakrishna also sees the six-armed divine form, the Vishnu, Gadadhar, with 6 arms. Srivasa, in the song at least, he is showing that he is witnessing a wonderful vision. Srivasa was naturally more spiritual than Gangadas, who was just a teacher, and perhaps their idea was to teach, they were supposed to teach scriptures to Chaitanya, and as the mother was very keen that he earned a living by learning the scriptures. But Srivasa gets a vision and he sings his praises. Sri Ramakrishna also sees that vision. When he says that I am seeing this wonderful vision, Sri Ramakrishna somehow gets absorbed in bhava. Gauranga is in ecstasy. He talks to Advaita, Srivasa, Haridasa, and others. In Haridas was his disciple. So all of them, recognizing the ecstatic mood of Gauranga, Nitai sings, "Oh, the beloved of my soul, where is..." Nitai is different. Nitai is Nityananda and Nimai is Gauranga. So there should not be confusion. So recognizing the mood of Gauranga, here word Gauranga is used. Gauranga himself is Nimai. That was the name which Sachi had given him. But Nitai sings, now that Nityananda who has come, who had earlier appeared to Nimai in a dream, has come. And he sings, saying, "Oh, the beloved of my soul, where is Krishna in the grove? Please bring my Krishna. Oh, my beloved friend, whom does Radha know except Krishna?" So, singing this song, Sri Ramakrishna passes into Samadhi. Actually, Nita is singing in the drama which has been enacted. And in that drama, Nita is addressing Gauranga, and both of them are singing. They were companions, and they are singing this song. Sri Ramakrishna passes into Samadhi on hearing the song. He remains in this mood for a very long time. The orchestra is going on, but Sri Ramakrishna has again gone into Bhav Samadhi. Thakur's Bhava Samadhi comes to an end. In the meantime, a gentleman from Nityananda Goswami's lineage who had come to see of Khadda comes in and stands behind Thakur's chair. He is also come to the box, being a relative, a descendant, maybe several generations later, but he was a descendant, and he was Nityananda Goswami, whose role is being played by one of the actors. He belonged to that lineage. He has come to see this movie, maybe out of this drama, this play. So he is standing behind Thakur's chair. His age is 34 or 35. Seeing him, Thakur is filled with joy. Holding his hand, he talks to him for a long time. He asks him a number of times to take a seat close to him, saying that he feels greatly inspired by his presence. He holds his hand and shows his love and regard by bringing the hand to touch his face. As the Goswami leaves, Thakur says to him, he is a great scholar, referring to this Khadda, a descendant of Nityananda Goswami. His father also is a great devotee. When I go to Khadda, Khadda is a place near Kolkata, for darshan of Shyam Sundar, that's a beautiful temple there. His father feeds me offered food worth more than 100 rupees. I mean, they offer a lot of things to the Shyam Sundar temple there, and Thakur has perhaps visited it several times. So he knew his father. So he was very happy that he had come. He is filled with joy seeing this descendant of Nityananda Goswami. This Brahmin was 35 years old, and makes him sit close to him and says that, see, by seeing you who belong to the great lineage and knowing the devotion of your father, I am so happy. And then he has very good traits, Sri Ramakrishna is saying. Just nudging him a little easily arouses his divine consciousness. I get greatly inspired looking at him. Had he been here a little while longer, I would have stood up in ecstasy. So he had come for a brief while. He was not there during the entire drama. So he said, see, he's such a nice person. He belongs to that family, and plus he has real devotion. If he had just waited for some more time, I would have been so happy. I would have stood up in ecstasy. What Thakur means is that if he had been with the Goswami a little longer, he would have gone into an ecstatic mood. He himself, not Goswami. The curtain raises. Nityananda is seated on the main road with his hand on his head to stop his bleeding. Now, why is he bleeding? Because, as you know, in the divine drama of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, there were two ruffians. There were a lot of jealous people around. They were known as Jagai and Madhai. So, Madhai has thrown a brass pot at him on Nityananda, and its edge has hurt him and he's bleeding. So in the play also this has been enacted. Somebody has played the role of Jagai or Madhai, but Nita is absolutely indifferent to it. He is intoxicated with the love of Gauranga, filled as if the love of Gauranga is filled up to the neck. Means he is least bothered about what is happening to his head. Somebody has hit it. He is not in the normal consciousness. Gauranga, Sri Ramakrishna, seeing this, is absorbed in an ecstatic mood. He watches Nitai embracing Jagai and Madhai who have hit him, and says, Nitai, come on Jagai and Madhai, come dancing, let us utter Haribol. Instead of getting angry on somebody who has hit him, he says, why don't you come, why don't you enjoy this Haribol? So they were, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Goswami, they used to move from village to village, and whether people were interested or not, they were devoted or not, they would just appeal, say, just say Haribol, just sing this Kirtan, and it will do you a lot of good. If you have struck me, it's okay, you have done well. But at least sing Hari and dance. It doesn't matter what you have done to me, but you have to sing. You have done well. Sing Hari Hari, Hari Bol and dance. Repeat Hari Bol. The lovers will embrace you in love divine. I mean, those who love Hari, they will embrace everybody, whether they harm them or whether they praise them. Raise the name of Hari. Let the word resound all around. You have not tasted prema. Now the Nityananda is telling, if you taste prema, then, oh brother, say Haribol and weep. Then you will see the moon, I mean the divine light in your heart. Oh brother, I will lovingly dole out his name. That is why Nitya is calling so lovingly. Said, I have nothing else to give. I can just give you the name. And it doesn't matter whether you hit me or do whatever you like, but sing the name. You have not tasted prema. But if you taste it once, then you will not give it up. So this is how Nityananda and Nimai, Gauranga, they used to go requesting, begging people, anybody. They did not even bother about the caste, religion, anybody, rich, poor, anybody whom they saw, they would ask them to join them in the Kirtan. There used to be this Kirtan Mandali always going on. And if you remember, Master Mashay, Sri Ramakrishna once saw Master Mashay in one of these chorus singing groups of Chaitanya. He said, I saw you. In a vision he had seen him. That is why I understood that he is deeply spiritual. Though at that time M was not so much devoted. He was a Brahmo. He did not even worship image, leave alone singing Kirtan. And he was a very shy type of person. He never joined, whereas other disciples, younger disciples would join Sri Ramakrishna in singing. Master would sit quietly, and Sri Ramakrishna used to sometimes make fun. See, he has grown old. He was not very old. He was just 27 years old. He said, see, he's now not dancing with these boys because he's shy, because he's grown old. He thinks he's a bit shy. So M is present there, and Sri Ramakrishna is telling him. Now the incident changes. Nimai is talking to Sachi about his sannyasa. His mother is trying to convince. Sachi falls into a swoon. Seeing her faint, many in the audience sob with grief. Now she is seen there in that because the news is too much for her. She has just fainted when Nimai is pleading to her that, like Vishwarup, he also wants to take sannyas. Sri Ramakrishna, however, remains perfectly self-composed. He is not. Others in the audience, they will naturally feel that injustice has been done to the mother. And because she is sobbing with grief, they also feel grieved. But Sri Ramakrishna is neutral because he knew what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has done. What Gauranga has done is the right thing. Nima has done the right thing. So that's why he's self-composed. Except that one can see a tear in the corner of his eye. He is also moved by the wonderful devotion, not because he has taken sannyas. Anyway, but he could also see the sadness or the tears in the mother's Sachi's eye. Now the performance ends. Sri Ramakrishna gets into a carriage. A devotee asks, "How did you like it?" The drama is over, and I think with this Nimai Sannyasa, it ends. The whole drama, a limited portion of the entire Chaitanya's life was being enacted. So the drama has ended now with this last scene, and Sri Ramakrishna has now got into a carriage. A devotee asks him, "How did you like it?" Thakur is very pleased and says, laughing, "The performance was truly phenomenal. It was the same as the reality." I mean, he was so impressed with the acting that he felt it did not look like a drama. I felt it was very real. The actors really played their roles well. The carriage is proceeding towards Mahendra Mukherjee's mill. Suddenly, Thakur passes into an ecstatic mood. After a long time, he murmurs lovingly, "O Krishna, Jnana is Krishna, Prana is Krishna, the mind is Krishna, Atman is Krishna, body is Krishna," and he adds, "The beloved of my soul, O Govinda, you are my life." So this is what Sri Ramakrishna is murmuring. After a long time, he is still in that divine mood. Though he has come, boarded the carriage and has gone to Mahendra Mukherjee's mill, it is going towards Mahendra Mukherjee's mill, not into the mill. And Thakur is still recollecting the drama that he saw. He is singing, O Krishna, Jnana is Krishna, Prana is Krishna, Prana Krishna, mind is Krishna, Atman is Krishna, the body is Krishna," and he adds, "The beloved of my soul, O Govinda, you are my life." The carriage arrives at Mukherjee's mill. Mahendra treats Thakur to refreshments with the utmost hospitality and love. Mani or M is seated nearby. Thakur says lovingly to him, "Please take something." Then he gives himself some prasad of sweetmeats to him. So he has eaten something and he takes the prasad and gives it to M. Then M can't say no, so he takes that prasad. Now Sri Ramakrishna is going to the Kali temple in Dakshineshwar from Mahendra Mukherjee's. They had a break there, maybe to have some refreshment. And he is accompanied in the carriage by Mahendra Mukherjee, who had been the host. From his mill, they are going towards Dakshineshwar, Kali temple, and 2 or 3 other devotees are also there in that carriage. Mahendra is to leave the carriage after some distance. Thakur is full of joy and begins to sing, "O Lord, Gaur and Nitai, you two brothers." Mani also sings with them. Mahendra now intends to go on a pilgrimage. This is the topic of his conversation with Thakur. He has accompanied Thakur, he has hosted him, fed him, and then he has gone to drop him till a certain distance. Then I think somebody else will take Thakur. Anyway, Sri Ramakrishna is telling Mahendra, the sprout of prema will wither away before it starts to develop within you. Then he says, he is telling him that I want to go on pilgrimage. He doesn't say don't go, but he says that divine love, that prema which is there, will wither away. Not because of pilgrimage, because there will be a lot of distraction, as Sri Ramakrishna used to say. When we go on pilgrimage, we can't maintain that same spirit. We are anxious about our stay, about traveling, about tickets and all those things. So it has started developing within you. You are such a wonderful person, and it will wither away if you, he doesn't say don't go, but at the same time he gives a hint. So Mahendra should have understood. But then he knows that he will go. But come back quickly. "Oh, for so many days I have been thinking of visiting your house. It's good that I visited it once." So tempting him, saying that I want to come to your house. You are really developing some devotion. Don't stay long on the on this pilgrimage. Don't be missing for long. Come back quickly. Then Mahendra is very happy. He said, "Sir, my life is blessed because you came." Sri Ramakrishna, you are already blessed, and your father is also a nice man. I met him the other day. He has faith in Adhyatma Ramayana. Mahendra, sir, grant that I may have bhakti by your grace. Mahendra is saying. Then Sri Ramakrishna, you are very large-hearted and guileless. Sri Ramakrishna is praising Mahendra. Mahendra says, please bless me so that I have bhakti. So Sri Ramakrishna is now saying, you are very large-hearted. That is one good quality which is necessary for spiritual progress, and guileless. One cannot attain Bhagavan without being guileless and generous. One must shun hypocrisy. Mahendra takes his leave near Sham Bazar and the carriage moves on. So he leaves the carriage, Sham Bazar, he has dropped them at Sham Bazar, and Sri Ramakrishna is telling M, what has Jadu Malik done? M is speaking to himself. Thakur is so interested in the welfare of all of his devotees. He is just thinking to himself, has he incarnated just as Chaitanya did to teach in this human body, to teach bhakti to all? It's just a thought that comes in M's mind. Now this incident is over. Sri Ramakrishna has gone to Sadharan Brahmo Samaj and he gives instructions to Vijay Krishna Goswami. You know, Sadharan Brahmo Samaj was founded by Vijay Krishna Goswami when they separated from the original Brahmo Samaj, Navavidhan, which was later known as Navavidhan. So Sri Ramakrishna is in the temple of Sadharan Brahmo Samaj. M. Hajra, Vijay, Shivnath and Kedar are there. Today Sri Ramakrishna has come to the city of Calcutta. It is Friday, 26 September 1884, the Saptami Puja day. Thakur has a number of engagements to attend on this day. It's a great Sharadiya autumn festival. Saptami, there are two Durga Pujas. One is the Sharadiya Durga Puja, and it is the Saptami of that puja. So Sri Ramakrishna has come to attend this autumn festival. And every Hindu house in Calcutta practically is performing this puja, Saptami, Ashtami of the Divine Mother. Sri Ramakrishna will pay homage to the image in Adar's house and take part in the joyous festival of the All Blissful Mother. He also wishes to see Shivnath. With umbrella in hand, M strolls the footpath of the Sadharan Brahmo Samaj about midday. 1 o'clock strikes and then 2, but Thakur does not arrive. So he has gone there, he has reached at midnight, but Thakur has not arrived. Now and then M sits on the steps of Mahal Nivas's dispensary, which was perhaps near Sadharan Brahmo Samaj, and watches the joy of the boys on Durga Puja. The puja is going on, Saptami Puja, and everybody is performing in their own way, dancing and all. How young and old are engaging in the various activities of the puja. So Thakur has not come, so he was just watching this. Thakur's carriage arrives after a long time around 3 o'clock. Stepping down from the carriage and seeing the Samaj temple in front of him, Thakur joins his hands in prayer or salutation. He is accompanied by Hajra and 1 or 2 other devotees. He has come from Dakshineshwar. Seeing Thakur, M salutes him, falling at his feet. Thakur says, I will go to Shivnath's house. Hearing that Thakur has arrived, the Brahmo devotees gather around in no time. Taking Sri Ramakrishna with them, they reach the door of Shivnath's house in the area where the Brahmos live. Shivnath is not at home. What to do? Soon Vijay Goswami, Mahal Navish and other workers of the Brahmo Samaj arrive. They greet Thakur and take him to the Brahmo Samaj, Sadharan Brahmo Samaj temple. Please rest a while, they say. Shivnath should return soon. Thakur sits down with a smiling face, full of joy. An asana was prepared for him below the dais where the usual party will sing devotional songs. Vijay and Brahmo, other Brahmo devotees, sit in front of him. Now the topic is, now the program will begin. Sadhan Brahmo Samaj and signboard. Harmony between formless God and God with form. That is the heading. Let us see what is there. Sri Ramakrishna is laughing and talking to Vijay. I was told that there was a signboard here, means outside Brahmo Samaj, that people of other faiths cannot come in. It's exclusively meant for those who are members of the Brahmo Samaj, Sadharan Brahmo Samaj. You shouldn't go to the Brahmo Samaj. It would be, Narendra said to me, and he's saying, laughing and telling Vijay Krishna Goswami, that see, you're not a member. Narendra also, I think, is not a member anymore. So Narendra told Thakur, you should not go to the Brahmo Samaj because they have put this notice. It would be better to go to Shivnath's house. Though Shivnath is a member of the Sadharan Brahmo Samaj, but his house is okay. But if you go to the temple where this board is put, Swami Vivekananda or Narendra did not like that. But then Thakur has a different view. He says, but I say everybody is calling upon God. One should give up jealousy and antagonism. Some people say God is with form, others say he is formless. I say that he who has faith in God with form should meditate on him as such, and he who believes in the formless God should meditate on God without form. Dogmatism is never good. It is not good. It is good to believe that one's faith is right, but that one does not know whether the faith of others is right or wrong. We should not comment upon that, true or untrue. The reason is that until you have God's vision, it's not possible to know his true nature. Kabir said, he's quoting Kabir, God with form is my mother and God without form is my father. So you have to accept both. With whom can I find fault? Whom can I worship? Both pans of the scale are equally heavy. All of you, he is addressing them, Hindus, Mohammedans, Christians, Shaktas, Shaivites, Vaishnavas, and the ancient Brahmagyanis of the era of the Rishis and the present day Brahmagyanis among you are asking for the same substance. Each one is worshipping a different ideal, formless, with form, as mother, as father, whatever be their approach. All Hindus, Mohammedans, Christians, Shaktas, Shaivites, Vaishnavas, and the ancient Brahmagyanis of the era of the Rishis. He is talking of the Brahmagyanis or those who are following the path of the Upanishads, the Jnana Marga. Even they, and the present Brahmagyanis. Brahma means now, present Brahmagyanis is referring to the Brahmo Samaj. Brahma, it has come from the word Brahma. So he is saying the old Brahmagyanis, that is those who believed in the formless God and the Upanishads, scriptures, and the modern Brahmagyanis, all are worshipping, asking for the same substance. A mother, then he gives this famous example. A mother provides food that suits each stomach. She cooks fish differently for each of her 5 children. She doesn't make pulao and kalia for all of them because their digestions are different. Kalia is, pulao is a highly spiced fish dish of rice and not only fish but also meat also. So it is cooked in clarified butter, whereas kalia is a rich curry made out of fish. So everybody cannot digest everything. So for some it is pulao, some it is some other dish. And then he says, but that doesn't mean she doesn't love all her children. Because of their different digestive capacity, she is trying to make different items. But the mother loves all her children equally. Do you know my attitude? I like to eat fish prepared in all different ways. I have a feminine nature. All laugh. I try to eat fried fish, fish smeared with turmeric, sour fish, small dry fish cooked with spiced vegetables, and the rest. Furthermore, I like the seasoned head of fish as well as pulao and kalia dishes. All laugh. So he's giving a very funny example, giving all the possible combinations of cooking with fish, and he says all are fine for me because I have tasted everything. The idea is it has to be taken not very literally, but he's giving an example that just as you like variety when you eat food, you don't eat the same food every day, you like variety. So why have try to have exclusive nature and say your God alone is true? Why should you be exclusive? You don't see only one food is good. You try to eat everything. Just as I feel like eating many things, different times I enjoy different dishes. So also, you have to appreciate the viewpoint of others, the way they worship, and you have to enjoy it, not only appreciate and accept it, but also not only accept it, but also enjoy it with them. Do you know how it is? Different religions are based on different times, places, and people. But all these religions are only different paths. The paths are themselves not the Lord. Though if you have sincere bhakti and tread any path, you can reach Him. If there is an error in a particular path you choose, suppose there is an error, say for example, some people feel the other path is not right. He will correct it. The Lord Himself, who is responsible, will correct it. You don't have to bother to correct Him. If He will correct it, if you are sincere. If you are sincerely going towards a particular path, if there is some error, He will correct it. You don't have to bother. Suppose one he gives another example now. Suppose one sets out yearningly to visit Lord Jagannath at Puri, and instead of going towards south, he goes towards the north. From Calcutta, you have to go south. By mistake, suppose you go to the north, but still, instead of somebody will surely tell him that this is not the way, you have to go back. He will tell him not to proceed towards the north, but go towards the south. This fellow is sure to see Lord Jagannath in Puri sooner or later. It may take time if you go the wrong way. At the same time, you must not say that the paths other than yours are wrong. It is for the creator of the universe to take care of that. Our duty is to somehow have the darshan of Lord Jagannath. To the Brahmos, your path is very good. You take him as formless. This is indeed good. You take him as formless. There's no reason why you should think that the other paths are wrong. Bread which is sweetened with sugar candy, whether you eat straight or sidewise, it will always taste sweet. So whichever end you start eating a bread which is sweetened with sugar candy, it is going to taste sweet. So whatever be the way of worship you decide for yourself, it is going to produce results. Even so, it is not good to be dogmatic. You have heard the story of the chameleon. This is a story which is a famous parable of Sri Ramakrishna. He says, this is such a wonderful example. Thakur used to observe these things, and based on that he used to explain abstruse truths, philosophies, using this wonderful example which we can see in our daily life. There's a chameleon has a peculiar nature which allows it to change its own color depending on the surrounding. So a man went to ease himself, and he was under a tree, and he saw a chameleon on a tree trunk. He came and told his friends that he'd seen a red chameleon. He was absolutely sure that it was red because it was really red at that time. Another person went to the tree and said that he had seen a green chameleon. Said, no, I have gone there, I have seen, it is green, it's not red. He was also convinced that it was green and no other color. But the man who lived under the tree said, what both of you have said is correct. The creature is sometimes red, sometimes green, sometimes yellow, and sometimes it has no color. It becomes transparent. That is the formless. Similarly, he says the Vedas talk of God as both Saguna and Nirguna. Saguna means with qualities, Nirguna means without qualities. Without qualities is the formless God. You people just call him formless. You're staunch believers in this concept. That's all right. Let it be. When you know one of his aspects truly, you will come to know of his other aspects. If you really realize him as formless, then you will accept the form also. God himself will make you understand. First focus on what you believe, realize that, and then you'll see all realizations lead to the same goal. You people who come here know this gentleman and that one too, pointing to one or two Brahmo devotees. So with these, Sri Ramakrishna is trying to convey a lot of abstruse truths. We'll not start the next chapter because the same chapter, chapter 2, but it's based on some instructions which he's giving to Vijay Krishna Goswami. We all know that he was a member of the Sadharan Brahmo Samaj, a paid preacher. However, he does not agree with the rules and regulations of the Brahmo Samaj. He also associates with believers in God with form. That's why he's coming to Sri Ramakrishna now and then. He was a little liberal Brahmo. So the others were angry with him. He also has associates who believe in God with form. Though he himself, so he has broken some rules, and this has caused a lot of estrangement with the authorities of the Sadharan Brahmo Samaj. Many of the Brahmo Samaj devotees of Samaj are displeased with him. So Thakur suddenly addresses Vijay and tries to tell him why this is happening in his life. And he is smiling and telling it in a very smiling way. They condemn you because you meet people who believe in God with form. That's what he does. He says you believe in God with form. That is why they condemn you. The devotees of God must have a firm and steadfast understanding like the blacksmith's anvil. It receives hammer blows unceasingly, but it remains unchanged. Unfriendly people may find fault with you and speak ill of you, but if you sincerely love Bhagwan, you will bear all this. It's not possible to meditate on the Lord while living with the wicked. Remember the rishis who used to meditate on the Lord in the forest with tigers, bears, and other wild animals around them. Unfriendly people have the nature of tigers and bears. They chase offensively and can harm you. So you must be careful of many types. First, an important wealthy man. Rich people can harm you if they wish. You have to talk to them very cautiously. You might even have to agree to something they say. Then there is a dog which you may chase away, but it continues to follow you and bark. You have to stand up to it and pacify it with gentle sounds. Then there is a bull which would attack you with its horn. You have to pacify it also with gentle words. Then there is a lunatic. When you arouse his anger, he will abuse you right and left, even your 14 ancestors. You should say to him, "How do you do, uncle?" This will please him. He may even sit and smoke with you. When I see a wicked person, I am on my guard. If one of them comes and says, "I have a hubble bubble for him," I say, "Yes, I have." I don't argue with him. So all these practical tips he is giving, and will continue. He is giving some piece of advice to Vijay Krishna Goswami as how he should deal with people who disagree with him. It's a very long conversation that shows how Sri Ramakrishna was concerned about Vijay Krishna Goswami. He knew it is no fault of his that he is liberal, but there are people of the nature which he has just described, and he is telling Vijay Krishna Goswami, you have to be like this. So we'll conclude now. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.